Hi everyone, Sarah here. Today we're going to make a non-toxic and natural disinfecting spray that you can use on toilet seats, toilet handles, countertops, cutting boards, faucets, and anything else that you would like to disinfect. So hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Sarah McFall of MyMerryMessyLife.com, and today I'm excited to share with you another recipe from my book, Detox Your Home, which you can find on Amazon. Just type in Detox Your Home and it'll pop up. It includes more than 80 recipes that can help you to go natural in your home. It also includes non-toxic products that you can buy mostly on Amazon in case you don't want to make your own products. And it just talks about how toxins in our homes are affecting our health. So today, let's talk about the toxins that you're going to find in many disinfecting sprays on the market like Lysol. Well, first of all, disinfecting and sanitizing products are contributing to antibiotic resistance. And so they're not something that you want to be using all the time, every day. I would use them sparingly, only when needed. Like on your cutting boards daily, your kitchen countertops daily is probably fine. But sanitizing everything on a daily basis, I would try and stay away from, because we want our bodies to have a natural balance of good and bad bacteria, so that when we need antibiotics for health-saving measures, life-saving measures sometimes, our bodies will react to them and the antibiotics will work. So the first reason I like to make my own disinfecting spray is because many of them contain artificial fragrances and other airborne toxins that go into the air and then we all breathe in. Children, babies, pets, and of course we breathe them in as well. And many of them contain artificial fragrances, which I've talked about in many of my videos before. If you've been following me, then you know I talk about artificial fragrances, but they are very toxic. They are bound together by particles called phthalates, and phthalates are tiny particles of plastic. We then breathe those in, and as you might imagine, breathing in plastic is harmful to our respiratory systems. Our bodies don't like plastic. We're not meant to have plastic in us. And it irritates our sinuses, our lungs, our noses, the entire respiratory system. And so you might find yourself dealing with allergies and asthma and more frequent colds and respiratory illnesses and things like that. So I highly recommend that you stay away from products containing artificial fragrances. Artificial fragrances also contain formaldehyde, many of them do. They're a class of 3,000 chemicals, so really it's impossible to know which one of those 3,000 chemicals you're spraying into your air. So it's better just to stay away from them and scent your products with things that are healthy and natural, like essential oils. So I mentioned airborne toxins. Many of the disinfecting sprays on the market contain formaldehyde and 1,4-dioxane, which is sprayed into the air. Both of these are known carcinogens. They're not just irritating like artificial fragrances, they are known carcinogens. They irritate allergies and asthma and can even cause adult onset asthma. Yes, in fact, I'm going to read to you a quote from the EWG.org, which is the Environmental Working Group. And they say, a growing body of evidence suggests that using cleaning products can also cause asthma to develop in otherwise healthy adults. A 10-country study of more than 3,500 individuals who were initially free of asthma found that 9 years later, those who had used spray cleaners at least once a week to clean their homes had a 30 to 50% increased risk of developing asthma during the study period. The association was linked primarily to commonly used spray products such as air fresheners, glass cleaners, and furniture cleaning sprays. So that's another big reason I make a lot of my own cleaning products. So let's talk about the ingredients we're going to use today in this cleaner. We're going to use rubbing alcohol, hydrogen peroxide, and essential oils. Now, in place of the rubbing alcohol, if you prefer not to use that, you could use distilled white vinegar. However, rubbing alcohol has been proven to kill the flu virus. So if you're really wanting to kill something like that, I would suggest rubbing alcohol. And the reason why some people shy away from rubbing alcohol is it does have a strong smell, but vinegar does also. It can have a strong smell and irritate the lung and sinus passageways for sensitive people. So just sort of use your best judgment and what you think is best for you and your family. But I chose to use it because there's no asthma in my family and we're not terribly sensitive to things like rubbing alcohol. The EWG.org does say that rubbing alcohol has a low risk for toxicity, a very low risk. So it is, in general, still pretty safe. And then hydrogen peroxide is a wonderful ingredient to have in your natural home because it is a natural chlorine bleach alternative. The caution with this is you want to make sure that you keep it out of sunlight. That's why it's in a dark brown bottle, because sunlight will break down the particles and it will render it ineffective. So it also does sanitize and purify surfaces. So that's why I've chosen it for this recipe. Both vinegar and peroxide do work to sanitize and purify germs. However, they have to be left on the surface for 30 minutes or more for it to be effective. So just know that going into it. And thankfully, when you're sanitizing surfaces, you usually just spray and leave it on anyway. So that's kind of convenient, not really an issue. Another caution that I forgot to mention about rubbing alcohol is it is flammable, so keep it away from flames. Most likely you're not going to be using it around flames, so no issue there. It's also corrosive, so don't use it on wood. It will remove the finish, sometimes the paint of finished wood. So only use it on non-porous surfaces such as countertops and cutting boards and all the other things I mentioned. So let's get started making the recipe. It's super easy. You need 1.5 cups of hydrogen peroxide. And I like to use a funnel to make this not so messy. Another reason I make a lot of my own cleaners is because when you're buying products in the store, you're paying for mostly water. So it's very cost efficient, very affordable to make them yourself. Plus you're saving the environment because you're buying things in bulk and mixing them up in reusing bottles. So you're saving on a lot of waste and packaging and things like that. So I really like making my own products. All right, now you need 1/2 cup of rubbing alcohol. Or vinegar, like I said. Oops, I put too much. That's okay though. And I can smell the rubbing alcohol, it is strong. And we do 10 to 15 drops of essential oils. I chose to use Citrus Fresh today just because it's light and has a lovely citrus smell, and citrus oils are also known for their purifying and sanitizing properties. And also in my Etsy shop, you can get these waterproof labels. They're vinyl stickers and they have the recipe printed on them. So you never have to look up the recipe again or remember where you got it from, and it makes your life easier. Again, this recipe comes from my book, Detox Your Home, that you can find on Amazon. So thank you for being here with me today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, would you please give it a thumbs up? Drop me a comment below. Let me know if you've tried this or if you've tried a different recipe. Let me know what ingredients you've used and what has worked for you. And make sure to subscribe to my channel. See you guys back next time. Bye.